Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor. Matchup, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Charles Davis alongside me, and I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, folks, the wait is over. Yes, it's just the preseason, but football is back in your living room.
And I'm excited. I know you are as well. The summer heat feels good on these old bones, especially because we're not putting on pads. We don't have to be out there in that heat running into other people. But I'm glad these guys are. Football is back.
Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Here's the fourth-year man, J.K. Dobbins. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A good start. One play, 10 yards. So much for staying ahead of the chains with a 3 or 4 yard gain on first down. They move.
Aren't they? Because a lot of the first series of games are scripted. Many times to probe and find some holes in the defense. Sometimes you attack with some big-time runs, too.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. He's got it complete to Aguilar. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 45-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Yeah, on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now Dobbins again on second down. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. And that's on the guard, Kevin Zeitler. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. They go back to the ground with Dobbins. And he'll get this down only to the 18. The tackle made by Nicholas Morrow.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
2nd and 9. Here's Jackson to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
2nd down. Here's Hurts. That's caught. It's Dan Arnold, the tight end. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That CD, as we know, trying to defend against an NFL quarterback, that's one thing. Trying to defend against a mobile NFL quarterback, that's quite another. What's the plan here defensive?
Edge, but they're going to go maybe a count slower, right? They want to make sure they don't get too far upfield where he steps up and takes off through a lane. The same is true for those interior guys as well. So you've got to change it up with him. Try and keep him hemmed into the pocket, and occasionally you throw a spy on it. A fast linebacker or one of your extra defensive backs who can dance with him a little bit if he takes off and runs.
The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down. Hurts. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 6. A run for the former Seahawk. It's Rashad Penny. And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens' 23. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Now it's the backup Mariota. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw. Touchdown! Greg Ward, a 12-yard touchdown grab.
And the Eagles post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. Things a lot different than the last time they were on the field. Remember, they threw the interception, gave up the touchdown, and now trailing 7-0 and looking for a response. Beating him there with his legs, 21 yards, first down. I'll tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up. Here's 2nd and 10. A give for Edwards running right. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. On 3rd and long, here's Huntley. A swing pass here to Edwards. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now on 4th down, they throw the deep ball, but it winds up to be incomplete. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So their first drive of the game already trailing, having given up points. A little surprised that they went for it, right?
Maybe the big guy, the head coach, senses this is going to be a shootout type of a game. That they've got to match them point for point, as opposed to, hey, we'll get them later. Maybe he just has that sense, and that's why he decided to go for it there.
A first down throw for Mariota. That'll be complete to Tyree Cleveland. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 25 yards that time. Working out of the gun, Mariota. Zacchaeus here hauling it in. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now Mariota got his man complete over the middle. It's Arnold. And the Eagles are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Mariota to throw it. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Tyree Cleveland from 3 yards out. And the Eagles go up by 2 touchdowns. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Elliott on for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive, 4 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Ravens ready to take over. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. On second down, it's Edwards. He'll be dropped at the 30. The first broken tackle couldn't bust him free. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. They're looking deep here for Flowers. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Eagles are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. And, Charles, you know, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're
touchdown, Philadelphia. Tyree Cleveland.